teenies, new and old, to Wits and Crits, a roundtable Q&A style podcast hosted by me, your dice goblin and resident vanilla guard boy loving ship gremlin, Hayden Daviau. I'm the player for Aviana Kolesh, Regan Aylox, and Fianula Ione. For those of you who are finding us for the first time, hi! We are Nat 19. We're a group of actors, performers, and improvisers who have come together through our love of storytelling and mutual nerdery. Today on the show, I have Eric Embleton. And go ahead and introduce yourself, you fine boy.
Oh my gosh. I'm Eric Embleton, also known as Eric VA. I play Kyra Volcora, Omar Lawson, and Gino Angelo, and also Callus Vesper that one time in Nat 19.
Wow! Heckin', thanks for being on, boy. I'm so happy we're doing this. I'm so hyped.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Of course!
I'm really excited.
All right, so for those of you who don't know how the show works, I have some dice here, which are our bestiest dice, which you can get on nat19show.com/shop. But I have some dice here, so I'm gonna roll to see who is going to answer the question first, for who the question will be for, and then I will roll a secondary dice grammar. I will roll a secondary die to decide, or to determine which question it's going to be. So, we're gonna roll. Yeah. Oh, perfect. It's for both of us.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this one was fun. Someone came on the one of the streams asking this, so
Okay.
we can certainly take our time with this one. It is to Hayden and Eric. A lot of Greek heroes have epithets describing some of their more famous attributes or deeds. For example, Achilles the Lion-Hearted or Bellerophon the Blameless. If your characters became legendary heroes, what are a few words that future societies will remember them by? So, like, let's go with, like, our Thursday games. Like, what do you think? Like, Gino the Great? Things like that.
Man.
Like, things that describe their attributes. Like, what words would you use to, like, describe Kyra if she were to be a legendary hero?
Kyra, I really like the name that Crust came up with her for her a long time ago. I think he called her the Firecracker. I don't know if that would be like that doesn't sound as legendary as like the Flame Bringer or some shit like that. But
ooh, Kyra the Flame Bringer. I like that.
That could also be
That's
something.
good. I like that.
But yeah, I guess I'll go with that for Kyra. But for Gino, I get like maybe something like the Immovable or like something like that, just because of like he's so fucking tanky.
Mm-hmm. He is the immovable object.
I mean, it's literally the names of one of his abilities. So
Gino
yeah,
the Indomitable.
that also works. Except he's been dominabled a few times.
Yep. And
like in session 2
going,
where he just
fuck.
flat out died.
God. Oh my god, early DMS where we're like, no, we don't need to take out the ads. Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
We
like fucking Jesus.
God.
Compared, oh my, like just as a small aside,
No, go for
then
it.
versus now, holy shit.
Oh my
Like,
God.
dear God.
Do you ever think about the fact that we're on session, or like mission 16?
We're only level 16. Like, there's 4 more to go.
There's 4 more to go. That's wild. Also, that means we're 4 missions away from, like, the end, and I'm not okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's on the horizon.
I don't want it.
Let me keep my specialty best boys forever.
Let me keep my boys. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Oh, just to make everyone cry. Again, I have some Theo theories that I've been like stewing on. Ooh, we'll touch on them. But let's see. For Fianula, I don't know what I would use to describe her.
I mean, she is already kind of like taken the queen of the Frost Hells.
Yeah.
For, like, that's kind of a thing.
Queen Fianula. I'm the princess of tyranny.
that works. Except she's not at all tyrannical.
No, she's like, what? She's full of bees. She is my
Imagine...
ADHD, just, like, let go.
Imagine she, like, goes back to the Frost Hells and takes over, and she is the Queen of Tyranny, and that's the name she uses for herself, and, like, these fucking devil hunters delve into the Frost Hells to take down the Queen of Tyranny, and they just meet Theo. And it's like, hello! Do you want some chips?
I have crisps, I have cheese. It might be a little cold, but I have cheeses. I brought whipping cream that Marilyn didn't need anymore because she needed for like a client, but I don't know what that means. I also have Eggo waffles because it confuses my not boyfriend. Because he doesn't know what an Eggo is for some reason, even though we've been over this.
And he's right here. Hello.
He's right
Say
here.
hello.
Say hello, not Krusk. Oh my god.
Krusk.
The timelines just merged.
Wires crossed a little bit.
See, this is what happens when I go into Theo brain. There's nothing up there. It's just...
There's so little in there that it bleeds in from other realities.
Oh gosh. Okay. For Regan, I would say it's so simple, but it's literally the only thing I can like think of. It's not even like a heroic thing. It's like Regan the Loving. That's just what comes to my brain. Is because even though she's like, she can be stubborn and like motherly, she just, everything she does comes from love.
Yeah. It's like one of those, like, you have like, it's kind of like the more down-to-earth, like, legendary title. It's like, oh, that's like a wise person you want to go to for like,
yeah,
like, you know, like fucking life advice or something. Like, as opposed to like, I want to go to this person to fucking take down an evil dragon. Like, not that she couldn't do that as well.
Oh yeah, no. Girl's a little scary.
Oh yeah.
I just got 5th level spells. Druids are like
scary.
Oh, I can't fucking wait to like really dig into like my big boy spells.
Oh yeah, I bet. Druids get some fucking gnarly shit.
I've been going over what I get for like 4th and 5th level. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Whoa.
But for Aviana, I would say Aviana the Protector, because that is who she is at her core. And like, even in like, I'm not good at like these, but I'm like, that's basically like, there's Bellerophon the Blameless and like Achilles the Lion-Hearted. I'm like, it's kind of in that same vein. But like, we had a conversation with Diane during last session, where like Avi and Diane kind of had a heart-to-heart, and Diane told her entire like history and how she like because Avi asked her, it's like, who would Diane have been if she hadn't been part of the family? Like, it's like, I might have just been like the hidden daughter of a wealthy merchant who was like not so great. And like Avi learned like her whole history and her backstory and like how she got to being part of the family and how she got to where she is. And she's my favorite thing she said to her, or like that, because Quintus came in like over like the intercom in the fucking Sword of Damocles. Yeah. And was just like hello, and she's just like, I think Logan's just like, you could see she was like starting to tear up a little bit and like get like a little emotional, and as soon as she hears Quintus, that goes away.
So sucks those tears right back
it's up. Just like, I hate him so much. It was so funny. But they got talking about it's like he thinks he could just fix these problems by just like making like these big promises and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what she said. And it's like he doesn't understand that there's like layers to how the world works. It's not just being like a Quintus and then everything will get better. Like, just tell people to do better and things will get better. That's not how the world works.
Platitudes don't fix the world.
That basically, yeah, that exactly that. She fucking said to Avi, and I love it. It's been living rent free in my head since Saturday, and it's like, I mean, look at you! Like, someone who has not exactly been, like, who hasn't cared about their methods. Look at how many people you've helped, and you're not exactly pleasant. No offense. And Avi's like, no, not taken. I know who
No,
I know who I am.
I'm highly unpleasant, I'm aware.
No, I know I'm unpleasant. That is intentional to a point. And after a point, it's I don't know how else to be. Because being intimate is really scary.
It's like, you're unpleasant, no offense. It's like, thanks, I try.
Yeah! It's like you're not exactly pleasant. It's like, no, I'm not. I know I'm not. I am kind of working on it. But I will never not be blind. But, like, because of that, it's like, yeah, even Diane's going, like, yeah, you've helped so many people. And it's like, yeah, Avi at her core is a protector. She wants to be the opposite of her mom. Spoiler tag. That's a big reason she does what she does, is her mom fed off of the people in the district. And she wants to do the opposite. She wants to feed the people of the district instead of what her mom did.
Hell yeah, Avi.
Yep. Hell yeah. But I think that covers that question. I like that one a whole lot. It's just, it's cute. Cool. Yeah, I like that. I can't remember who submitted it, but good question. We're gonna roll the dice.
It's for you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
D12? Yeah. Okay. It's pretty, I guess, simple question, but for Kyra, does Kyra ever feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the party's task, i.e. stopping the end of the world?
Extremely. She definitely is like, she's not like, I mean, last session she broke down. So like, that's kind of part of it, but it's also just, that was also like a lot in large part due to like guilt. But like overall, yeah, I would say she doesn't let herself like express it too much, because like, if I think she thinks that like if anyone can do it, it's probably us, probably. But holy fuck, this is so much. Why is this only why is it only us though? Like why can't other exactly, like should other people not be doing more? But yeah, I think she definitely feels she's processing a lot pretty much all the time. It just doesn't ever come out of her mouth that much, because I don't know, she just is not generally like willing to expose that kind of like vulnerability, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think like kind of her feeling overwhelmed by like this kind of touches on stuff from last game, and I think it touches on another question, but I'd have to dig through that, and I'm not gonna. Do you think her overwhelm with the situation is part of why she is very adamant about like teleporting out a lot of the time? Like being in that environment constantly is a lot for her. Is that maybe part of it for her? I don't know if that like is just honestly, a subconscious thing, or
that. I think honestly, yeah. Like I don't think I had clocked that myself actually, but as soon as you say that, I'm like, yeah, actually, that does make a ton of sense. Like, I think she, and it's also due in part to like just her being like, why would we sleep in the enemy's base if we don't have to? Is basically like, because they could just ambush us at any time and slit our fucking throats. Like, why would we give them that opportunity? But I think, yeah, honestly, I think she does feel that way a little. It's like, I want to see a leaf. I want to just sit in the obsidian halls and have just a drink for like an hour, please. Like, give me my small respite.
Yeah. Do you think that after after what happened in Red Larch in the last session, do you think that's kind of shifted for her? Because I know for Regan, it really put things into perspective and made her go, we can't fucking run anymore. Like I said as much in game, it's like, we can't keep doing this. We have to stay the fucking course. Like, has anything shifted for Kyra in that vein since last session? Especially because it was so emotional for her.
I think it has. I think she's definitely, like... It was a combination of that and also what Regan said. Of, like... giving the thing in Krusk's head access to different places. Like, even if we somehow found a place that the cults couldn't do this to, like, that a place, like a completely safe place, that, like, whether it's Regan's hometown or Kyra's hometown, like, bringing Krusk with us is a risk, because that thing would know everything. And especially for Kyra, because her hometown's supposed to be kind of a secret, so she definitely doesn't want this fucking weird, probably god, knowing about it.
Yep, so is Regan's.
Yeah. So, like, I think it definitely has. I think she wanted... the reason I think she was looking into dreams so much is, A, because, you know, sun sending is very limited and that's annoying to her, but it's also so she can just kind of have a lifeline to people that are far away that she misses and wants to talk to, in the midst of all this chaos and doom and gloom. So yeah, but it definitely, she's definitely like, we have to go and we can't. If we leave, it has to be like for 10 minutes and then we come back. Like, we can't stay the night anywhere else. Like, yeah. So I would say so.
Oh, Kyra. I love her.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm still... It's been a week, bro, and I'm still reeling from last session.
Same.
I'm glad like, it's not just me.
I sometimes will go back to that conversation she had with her mom in my mind, and like just getting into that headspace that she was in, I'd start like almost welling up again.
Oh.
Just thinking about that, because she was in a rough fucking place.
I could hear it. Like, I told you before we started recording, I was like, bro, you can't do this. I'm gonna cry more. I've already cried today, Regan. I was like dried up, but I was like, oh, like like when we all like reunited, like when we were walking over to like Ajisai and Casper, I was still bawling. I was like,
yeah,
like, okay, get it. Nope, we're not getting it together. It's flowing.
Regan crying at the conversation they didn't hear.
Well, like, when we were, like, walking away, like, after Regan had talked to her dad.
Ah, right.
It was after, like, talked to my dad. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck. I am excited, though, to heckin' finally go to her grove.
Yeah.
It'll be really brief, but I talked to Aaron, and I was like, hey, can we, like, nail down shit? Because, like, I have my ideas, but I want... Like, I obviously want some surprises as a player, but I was like, can we, like, nail down, like, certain things about it? Because I'm like, I want it. I want it so bad. But also, he could throw whatever he wants at me, and I'll roll with it.
I'm very intrigued to see Regan's hometown as well, and meet her mom.
Oh my god, the fact that Ajisai's not with us. Ah! But also...
The fact that
Go ahead.
I was gonna probably bring up what you were probably gonna bring up, which is the fact that Ajisai's not around for the mom, and the fact that we're not around for Mokuten.
Dude, it's killing me. The girlfriend vibes are off. And I'm like, we're gonna teleport out, and we're not gonna fucking know. We're gonna go there, probably sleep, so then you can teleport us back.
Well, we can get us back, no problem.
Okay.
In the same day.
If my mother will.
We might come back and be like, "Who the fuck is this dead body that we found?"
Like, what?
Like,
what the fuck?
Mokuten. just walking away.
God. Yeah, the fact that Regan's not there, the Regan in my brain is screaming that she is not there for Ajisai right now.
Kyra's also kind of like, in my head, my inner Kyra brain is like, fuck, she really wanted to be there for the Mokuten shit. Because Mokuten was Yuri's friend, and that means something to Kyra.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh gosh, the juice, give me princes in a month.
Yes.
I'm dying. I'm fucking dying.
Please.
I'm gonna ask another question, but ooh,
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. It's for both of us, and this is the silly question that I threw in.
Okay, cool.
For both of you, do Omar and Aviana hang out?
Absolutely, they do.
100%.
Omar would take any opportunity to hang out with Avi.
If they were to hang out, because I have my headcanon of what they would do to hang out. What do you think they would do hanging out?
Honestly, they definitely fucking vibe and smoke weed. That's definitely a thing that happens.
1000%. I feel like Omar is like her cozy friend. Like she has like her boyf who's like, yeah, you're who I go to when I need to like really talk about things, or like I just want like, you know, to snuggle and things. But Omar's like, hey, it's been a day.
I need to wind the fuck down.
And
Omar's like, I'm already down.
And like, I've been down. I'm in Briars. What's up?
What were you gonna say?
I'm like, I like to think they spar from time to time.
Yeah, that's I like that.
I can see it. Like spar, and then it's like spar, and then weed.
Just take her to the dojo that he trains at. And just go nuts for a little bit, and then just chill out.
Yeah, I think about Omar and Avi a lot. Like, to be so candid, I was like, I still need to get art of them just being buddies and just vibing, because I love them.
It filled my heart so much to see that.
Are feathered boys. I think that's one of the reasons that, like, Avi feels as comfortable with Omar. And, like, I don't know if I've ever said it on a Wits and Crits. I've said it to you, like, in private. Avi was definitely looking, it's like, damn, he's fine. But also, like...
but the love of my life, though.
But the love of my life, though, this guard boy, fuck, I'm so mad. But, like, Avi definitely window shops. But, she's just not gonna purchase anything. She feels so comfortable with Omar because it's, like, one, he lives in the same district as me, so he can understand. So there's, like, a different understanding there. She understands, she doesn't know the full extent of his past, outside of what he told her, when they were on the mission. But, it's the fact that he also has plumage is a big thing that makes her comfortable, because she doesn't feel like such an outlier, and it's like, okay, like, he's a much better person than I am, obviously, but, like, we have some overlap and some similarities, and we have, like, similar looks, I suppose, and, like, it makes her feel less strange when she's around him.
I get that.
Yeah, she's like, no, you're joining the highest standard so you can come to the Platinum District and hang out with me. But also, you know, you can take a big thing about her asking him to, like, giving him the badge was that, they're also from the same district. So she's like, no, if you are in the Platinum District, you can take bigger adventurer jobs if you want, so you can have better opportunities for you and your family.
Yeah, that's a huge thing about, like, that, and also the money that Avi gave him when they were in the, like, the underground area. I don't know if it's still called the Underdark, but
yeah, I don't know what Logan has changed it to in our setting, but at the time it was the Underdark.
Yeah, but that's a whole, he looks at all that and it's like, this is a really good chance to, like, support my family, because we live in a rough district, and maybe I could even, like, move them out of it at some point. Like, that's like, he definitely looks out for his family in that district.
Oh yeah, 1000%. And she's like, I don't know if I hit you, like if I managed to give your family part of that 4,000 gold I was passing out, so here's another 500. In platinum, but you know. She's like, I'm really rich right now and I don't know what else to do with this, so let me look
I don't like it, so take it from me.
Yeah. Well, it's not that she doesn't like it, she's like, let me use it for people who like really need it, because she's like, I'm good right now. I'm solid.
Yeah.
And if anything, I'll just go take I'll go take a quest or something.
Yeah.
But like,
Adventure
I can see,
life.
yeah, boy. I can definitely see like when she gets back to Summergrass after Giant Robot, it's like, nah, we gon' vibe, boy.
No, y'all, what's gonna happen is they're gonna get high as fuck, and then Avi's gonna tell that story, and Omar's gonna fucking freak the fuck out.
Dude, did you know I've been to space? But not just
gonna
normally, in a giant fucking robot.
What the fuck is a
And
robot?
It's, so you know how like...
Okay, actually, that's not true. He would know what a robot is, because he calls Flux Robo Buddy.
Yeah, so... exactly. It's like, no, it's like, but then we fought an aspect of Vestius that was also a giant robot. And we had to fight it.
Oh, fuck her, though.
I
Did
know.
you win?
Who knows, man? But we you know, I don't know if you know, but the moon blew up briefly. Yeah, that was us. And now there's a robot that's like in control of like the web, and it's a whole thing.
Just looks up at the sky. It's like, what do you mean? It's still blown up.
It's like, what do you mean? It's still. It's like, don't worry about it. The moon controls the man. Just pass the way. Just like, you've been through it. Yup. I'm so tired.
Dear God, Avi's been through so much in such a small span of time since meeting Omar.
It's been like months.
It's like, that's... How do you get up to that much in months? In Omar's mind is what he's thinking.
Yeah. Like, how? I don't know. I joined the highest standard and it hasn't stopped since. It just hasn't stopped, bro. I love them. I'm gonna ask another question. Yeah. Oh, it's for me. Oh boy. It's so weird. I'm always so awkward when I have to ask questions when I'm guesting on my own show. Okay. Okay. Ooh, alright. This touches on last game a little bit. Aviana, you seem to be pretty chummy with Diane, even agreeing with her on logistics and taking jabs at Quintus. What's going on there? I assume this was before last game. So a big part of what Aviana's doing, I'm trying to decide exactly how I want to phrase this without giving too much away, in case like there's time for talks with friends. But a big part of it is Aviana playing into what she said to Quintus, when she's like, there's a certain way to deal with people like this. You can't just be like, hey, do this thing, honor, 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 good and bad is the only way, there's no gray. She kind of got onto Quintus about how he dealt with Diane and how he was just like, I can't remember exactly what went down, so audience, sorry if I don't get this right, I wasn't there. But she was just like, you have to play their game, essentially. So Avi, at the start, was playing Diane's game. She, like, when they were fighting her, she was just like, there's no other option here. Ultramoricavium is coming down the fucking, it's refreezing the area. We can't go back the way we came. There is one way we can go, and it's the way Diane's trying to escape to. So Diane has a better grasp of what's going on here. I don't trust her, but I trust that she knows more than we do, is what was going on there. So is playing into a relationship that was already pre-existing. Like, she and Diane, I said as much last game, but she and Diane have never met before. they have been super aware of each other, and Aviana's even taken jobs from her, like through her contacts with the family. So like Avi's been doing work for her for years at this point. I think she's been working for the family for like half a decade at this point, if not a little more. Yeah, no, she's been doing work for the Unseen Hand for a while. But that was kind of playing into she knows more than us. And then on the ship, when she was so we found out that a little bit more that there's like a family sitting on the Lions, a family member sitting on the Lions Council, and it, from the pieces I'm putting together, it is the man that Aviana's mom used to be political counsel for in Summergrass. So he's actually been doing a lot of good for the Land Away, but also, in classic family fashion, he is also selling magical items and weapons to both sides of the war happening in the Land Away. So he is selling weaponry to, I think it's the Blood Threshers, and then also the Land Away. So they're playing both sides, and Aviana was like, no, that makes sense logistically. Like, I understand their thought process there. That wasn't, I need to drive this home. That was not her agreeing with what they do. It was more, she understands the thought processes in situations like that, and she can...
The cold calculus of
it,
like, makes sense.
Yeah, the cold, like, no, I understand why you would do that, because in that position, that's a smart way to make money. And that is a smart way to get what you want and keep power. And it's like, yeah, you're funding both sides of the war. It keeps it going, and it keeps your pockets lined. So, I don't agree with it. I wouldn't do it, but I get how you got to that point. As for taking jabs at Quintus, at that point, she wasn't sure where Diane was at, like, mentally, and like what she was gonna be capable of doing at that point, if she was still like loyal to the family, if she was like, even after everything, she didn't know kind of where that line was. So she was trying to create sort of a distance, at least a perceived distance, between herself and the highest standard. She didn't know what they knew. So she was talking as if she wasn't friends with them, like she was just doing her own thing. Because she was trying to just play the game, and in her mind, it would be foolish not to play the cards in your hand when they're at your disposal. So, but after her most recent conversation with Diane, because Diane was so vulnerable with her, Aviana felt a little bit more comfortable to, like, not fully defend Quintus, because she's like, I can't defend all of his actions because I get on him about a lot of things that he needs to work on. Avi's very aware she has shit to work on too, but very much, like, she was like, hey, yes, he's kind of a dumbass, but he is a good guy. Because at the end of the day, she believes that. It's like, no, he's a good guy, and he means well. He just doesn't always do things the right way. Or, like, what we think would be the right way. And,
get it.
Yeah, he doesn't always get it. I think he's got, 8 intelligence? You know.
It makes sense.
Sometimes it's just a little pachinko ball rattling around up there. And that's fun. But yeah, no, she doesn't want to be like Diane's friend or anything, but she really sympathizes with her, and they've both had really shitty upbringings, and after talking to her, she posited to Fenris and the others, it's like, hey, what if we reincarnated Diane? Oh,
to like give her a new
a second
basically.
chance. because if she leaves the Sword of Damocles, she's gonna die. She's gonna be murdered by the family. Like, there's nothing left for her. And Avi, being the softie that she is, and seeing, it's a big thing is that she sees so much of herself in Diane and has said as much. It's like, we're very similar people. We haven't done exactly the same things, but if I didn't have the voice in my life that I did, aka Rory, if she didn't have someone who cared about her, she would have ended up probably just like Diane and done much the same things, because Diane didn't have that. She's been fighting to survive since the very beginning, and Avi recognizes that and is like, you deserve a second chance. You deserve a chance at life and at love and a chance to do the good that you were striving to do with Edrigan. So I know that's a really long answer to that question, but there's been a lot there's been a lot of talk about it. Yeah, it's just fun playing this kind of mentality with a character because she's so different from my other girls. It's fun. Mm-hmm. But there's been a lot of talk about the whole Avi Diane stuff, and I know it kind of took Logan by surprise, which I'm still fucking thriving on, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, when we were like at the end of the fight, when she was like leaving, I chased after her, and Logan expected me to fucking attack her. I didn't. I was like, what's the plan here? What's the plan? And Logan was like, what? Like, as Diane, it's like she looks really taken aback. I'm like, good. That was the fucking intention.
Anytime you can throw off the DM is just a delight, really.
Oh, I was living. I called Alejandro. I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. It was so fun. But yeah, that's the Avi Diane stuff. And there's other questions in here about that, which maybe I'll touch on more. But I'll ask another heckin' question. Is for you.
Oh shit, let's go.
Roll the dice. Okay. Oh, yes, juice, gimme.
Oh boy.
To Eric, Kyra was the one who seemed the most angered by Torin's betrayal. At the end of Waterdeep, Baxter seems pretty indifferent to the Dragonborn, and Alif looks to be on somewhat good terms with him. Kyra is the one that is still vocal about her dislike for him. Why is she the one who's the most impacted by his betrayal? Do you think she could be on better terms with him in the future?
Oh man, I've actually thought about this one a lot.
Give me the juice! Let's go!
It's really... She was... Because during that fight, she was the only one who survived. Like, everyone else, Alif, Bax, even Krusk, they all died. And she had to look at their corpses laying on that table, and that is permanently just burned into her mind, like forever. And the fact that Torin is the one that did that is like, no, I'm not letting you off for that. Like, you don't deserve what you have right now. This chance, like, I can tell you're trying to be better, but I will never forgive you.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah. And just anytime, like, death amongst her friends happens, it has affected her in a heavy way. Like, Ajisai kind of... The Ajisai stuff where she died multiple times and came back, that didn't affect her as much. A, because Ajisai was new to her life at that point, and B, she kept coming back. So, like, it was kind of a weird thing that Kyra was having to learn, like, and adjust to. But, like, yeah, anytime, like, she sees her friends die, it is, like, naturally scarring. So... So yeah, she sees Torin as like, you did that. this I will never get that image out of my mind, and you're responsible.
Like, you don't get to walk away from that.
You don't get to just be like, oh, everything's better now. See, guys, I'm being nice. Like as long as you don't do it again, you'll get to live. But like, fuck
For now.
you. Forever.
Mm-hmm. No, that's so fucking fair. I cannot blame her. That is a valid grudge to hold.
Yeah. Like, he regrets it. Cool. That's the bare minimum. Like.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe someday she could, like, be not as, like, hostile about it. But she's never gonna forget that. And she's never gonna forgive it.
How could you? You know, like, how could you forget that? That is such a huge trauma. Like,
yeah.
Seeing him, this is like how I'm reading it. You can tell me if I'm reading too much into this with my little therapized brain. But like, seeing him at the Obsidian Halls after like what they went through, that is a constant reminder of like what he did. And
in this room, he did it here.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah, holy shit. Yeah, no, what a little like trauma poke. Like, hey buddy, remember that time all your friends were fucking dead in here? No, I cannot blame her. Cause ow.
Yeah.
Oh, poor girl.
And I think even I think even she's like not still entirely sure why she let him live at the end, because she wanted to kill his ass after doing that, and then he like at the end kind of submitted himself to her, be like, do what you will, and she just was like, and she just didn't do it. She just like hesitated and like she couldn't. And I don't think she understands why.
I think it's because she's not the same kind of person who could do something like that. I mean, she was kind of called on it like by her mom last sesh. It's like, you put on like this, I don't remember Kyra's mom's words exactly, but it's like you put on this very like fiery, aggressive front, but Kyra's very soft and affectable.
Yeah, very much so. Like, looking at her at the beginning of Waterdeep versus now, it's like, it's very clear that like early Waterdeep Kyra is very like, that isn't you. That's not, you were overcompensating for something. Like,
you were masking.
Yup. But yeah, when her mom pulled that out, I was like, oh yeah, that's like, I guess the first like any character's ever really like taken note of that.
Oh, I mean, if anyone's going to,
it's gonna be her. Yeah.
Oh, Ryuji, you tell him, buddy.
Oh, Ryugi.
Oh, Ryug. Oh, I love that. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful answer. It's gonna be full of boofs and borfs. Yeah. Oh, it's another one for you.
Oh, heck?
Whomst is at my door? I'm getting notifications that there's someone at my door. I'll let my husband deal with it. I'm assuming he's asleep, but we'll see. Okay. Let me roll to see which question we are. Alright, the dice are not being little buttholes this time and asking the same question 5 times. So, Gregelgagor. I don't know.
I have so much to say about Gregelgagor.
Oh, man. Alright, Gino.
Oh, heck.
As the party draws closer to the workshop and potentially to your body, is there anything you're especially worried about?
I think more than anything, he's worried about Manny's safety, and
Mhm.
you know that's like his highest priority, like at the moment, especially since what happened with Veilfar, where Manny died.
Oh yeah, he
But
did.
yeah, Gino's been thinking about that. But yeah, he's worried. I mean, he's worried about the safety of all his friends. And I think he's worried that, like, I mean, it's a pretty selfish worry. But he's worried that something might go wrong and that he might end up just being stuck in this forever. Because that's, you know, super not what he wants. But yeah, I think as far as like learning anything, I don't think there's anything he could learn at this point that would like really, I mean, watch me be wrong, but like I don't think there's anything he could learn at this point that could really like sway him in any kind of way. Like back when he was first learning that he was like potentially a part of Machiavelli or Machiavelli himself, he was really like affected by that, and it was like he didn't like the thought of it. But I think the reassurances of his friends along the way have done a lot for him. And like you're not Machiavelli, you are Gino. You are the person you are right now. Forget all that other shit. And he's taken a lot of that to heart. And he's kind of just like, fuck Machiavelli. I don't care if I'm him, because I'm not him. I'm me. So like as far as knowledge and like all that shit goes, he's like, fucking whatever. So what? Give me my body. I'm gonna leave. Briar, take this shit and go back to hell.
I'm out.
Like, yeah, basically. So yeah, I think his biggest worries are just keeping his friends safe and making sure that he can have a body at the end of it all. Probably nothing that hasn't been telegraphed before, but yeah, that's what's going on in his very simplistic mind.
Oh, Gino. I love Gino so much. Heckin', I want to touch on the Manny thing, because, like, we don't have any questions about it, but I want to ask about it. Because he brought up, like, I talked about it with Aaron a little bit on he and Squeaky's episode. He was like, hey, do you want to leave the Knights? Or, like, whatever it was specifically that Gino asked Manny. It's like, do you want to, like, leave the Knights? And, like, what do you want to do? Like, go find your mom. Being that, like, Emmanuel was, like, kind of given to the Knights by his dad, and also, like, he's there because they want the ring, and, like, they want to keep that under wraps to the best of their ability. Like, now is kind of, like, a special case. But, has Gino, thought about, like, the ramifications of just kind of piecing out after this with Manny? Like, what that could do for Manny? Like,
you were sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, it's all good. I was like deciding. That was the was like, is there more to this question? No, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think he has, actually. I don't think he has thought about too much the ramifications of, like, what would this. I think in his mind, his dumb mind, he sees like these people effectively fucking like abducted you and then trained you to be this fighter, this soldier, and told you that your life is worth less than everyone else's, and that's not okay. Do you want to get out of that? Is basically where Gino's mind is. And like whatever Manny ends up deciding, Gino will respect that. Like if he wants to stay with the Knights, Gino will not try to like he will not try to push super hard against it. It will what Manny does in that regard definitely probably will affect what Gino does. In what way, I can't quite say right now because I don't know. he might stay with the knights and try to like make the situation better, make it so he's not having to fight shit all the time and he's not told that he's worthless. Like, but yeah, I think he doesn't like the way Manny has had to grow up and wanted to offer him an alternative. I don't think he quite understands that this child's mind knows nothing else and wouldn't necessarily want to leave it.
Yeah, it's just kind of what he's been steeped in his whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do we know how long Manny's been with the Knights? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long.
I don't quite remember. A long time. Most of his life.
Yeah, because he's like 12, 13 now.
I want to say it's probably been more than half of it, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I want to say that's probably best. About it.
Aaron,
help!
Aaron, help!
But long enough to be indoctrinated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love how much Gino cares about him. Gino is like this big fucking death machine. He is like just a blender of a man, of a little tin can man, whom I love, but like he's got such a gentility, especially with Manny. Like specifically with Manny, like that's where it really shines through. It's like very Ed and Al, very brothers, and I love it. Like that's the obvious thing to like. That's the obvious comparison, but it
works honestly
works
because
so well.
Gino definitely considers Manny to be like a brother. He calls him that. Like.
I love this weird mash of a family. It's great.
It fit together better than like it had any right to, honestly. Like this weird fucking like just hobbled together group of people that shouldn't get along great. It's like it's
I love
amazing.
it. I'm nervous, but I'm so excited for what's to come for DMS, especially because we have so much DMS over like the next couple months. I'm like, let's fucking go.
I'm real excited to see where things go. I have no idea what's going down.
I don't know if Fio's gonna make it out of this. I've been saying that to Alejandro lately as I've just been like sitting on it. I was like, I don't know if Fio's gonna make it through. Like, whatever happens, and if she lives through this, let's fucking go. But I'm like, I don't think she gets to, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not like counting on that, but I was like, I have some theories.
I have a theory as well for how she might survive it.
Okay. Throw it my way. Let's go.
Because Pito and Briar have been telling Gino for the last little bit, like, hey, so you might not have a body of your own to go to, but like, we could make you one. And in my brain, that means they could theoretically do that for anyone.
It's not a bad thought. I'm trying to think, like, for Fio, I'm like, I don't know if she would want that, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's entirely fair.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna think too hard on it, but I'm like, I think she would just want to be Fio. And, like, whatever conclusion happens, I think I'm feeling her kind of come to, like, as much as she's cried that she doesn't want to be a sword and she doesn't want to leave her friends because she doesn't, I think she's starting to come to a place of whatever happens. And
like they're finding a peace in it.
Yeah, I think she's starting to get to that point. Like, I noticed it last game where I was like, I'm feeling a shift with her. So I'm curious to see kind of where that lands. But we'll see. We'll see what fucking happens, because we fought Big Boy last time, so now it's gonna go into what we always do, is we fight Big Thing, then we talk.
Yeah, basically.
We do the D&D thing. That's our pattern in literally every game. Every game any of us are in, and I'm fucking here for it.
You need time to decompress, to fucking
Oh my god.
wind down.
Mm-hmm. Higgity heckin' fuck. So good. I love DMS.
So
Alright, we're gonna ask a question. Who's it for? Oh, it's for me.
Oh, sure.
Alright, Dice, going back and forth for the most part. Good job. Good job, Dice. Yeah. Alright. That's a 9? Oh, speaking of DMS, this is something that I was actually excited to touch on.
Okay.
To Hayden, when the DMS team gets devil arms, the rest of the party debate out of character who would be best suited for. Theo, however, has loudly claimed 2 devil arms as her own. Is she just an impulsive person who sees something she's interested in and reacts? Or is she just not used to having much? It's definitely not her not being used to having much. Theo is very impulsive, and especially, I don't remember what the first one was. It might have been Magistrate. Yeah, I think it was Magistrate. But like, I think I asked the next game, is like, does anyone want thing? Willing to give up
That sounds familiar. Yeah, and Nicola was like, fuck it.
Like, fucking you take it. Like, okay, bet.
It's like, if the ranger says I can have it, then fucking it's mine.
Yeah, that's why I asked the ranger. I was like, do you want? And he's like, no, you have. I'm like, okay. But also, Cody's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny that he had the swords and I had the fucking gun. I was like, fuck it, let's go! This is great! I love it. Cody and I have been thriving on that shit. Fucking...
Yeah, well, I mean, Nicola was originally intended to be more of a melee ranger, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But then the range shit.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that. He's so gross. I love it. But, Theo is definitely very impulsive, and specifically with the Veilfar axe is when I, like, noticed it. When she first transformed into her devil trigger, she was hearing what we, as players, can assume to be Virgil's voice, saying that he needs more power. And Theo is very easily influenced because of... She has high wisdom, but in certain areas, low intelligence. She thought that that was just part of her, and she was like, oh, this is just a different... That doesn't sound like how my thoughts usually sound, but okay, I guess that's just... She was taking it as an instinctual thing, where it's like, I need more power. So, okay, let's take this axe. That's gonna immediately mean more power. And she was kind of riding the high from Lucifer a little bit, where it's like kind of that feeling of working in tandem, and she was kind of feeling like she was finding herself a little bit, and she got sucked in to this desire for more power, which is a big reason that she gave the axe to Gino, outside of it being really good for him mechanically. But also, when she transformed back to, like, her normal self after, like, that high of getting her devil trigger and working in tandem with Lucifer and feeling, like, that kind of lust for power, afterwards, after she'd sat on it, it kind of scared her. And she's like, oh, that's not me. That, I don't like that feeling. I don't want power. I just want to, I want to be me. And that's a big part of where she's at. And part of why she's finding that peace is she's like, I don't want to be what these people have been. I don't want to be a Lucifer. I don't want to be a Veilfar. I don't want to be this voice in my head or all of these other sword pieces. I want to be Theo. And that feeling and that lust for power terrified her. And she's like, I don't want this. It would be better in someone else's hands. She didn't trust herself to have these incredible, like, have the devil arms of the previous rulers of the Frost Hells.
That's
as much
fair.
Like, it was very scary for her. And as much as she, like, fucks with the Lord of Frostlight,
Be like, no, I'm the queen of tyranny, I'm the ruler of the Frost Hells.
it's mostly because she's like, no, I'm just gonna fuck with you. She's fucking with him.
Yeah, it's not like she actually expects to go back to the Frost Hells and sit on the
No!
throne. Like,
She doesn't want that. She does not want that. She just wants to clown on this clown.
yeah.
And she knows that her friends will back her up.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's like, nah. But, yeah, that's a big reason. She's impulsive and also is riding the high of power, and then she's like, I don't want it. No.
It's gotta be especially scary to have that sensation, and also, like you mentioned, like you now have the two devil arms, which is basically just another form of the leaders of the Frost Hells.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you inheriting their will as well? Like, it's like it's gotta be a weird, scary thing. It's like, no, get out of the way.
I don't want it. I don't want to be that. Yeah, because she saw how ruthless they were, and she's like, I know I'm a fucking tough fighter, and I know that I'm powerful, but she doesn't want to be that. She doesn't want to be ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
It's juice. I love Theo. I never expected to have this range and this fucking journey with her. But God, it's so good.
Ain't that just the D&D way?
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I love it. I'm very excited. I'm like, I mentioned it last, I don't think because it was on Saturday that I like got the confirmation from my tattoo artist. I'm getting a tattoo to commemorate my 3 girlies.
Yeah,
on
you
Christmas
mentioned
Eve.
that.
Yeah, I'm getting Theo's Yamato on my arm.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. And especially because we're like, it feels like we're coming close to the end here, or we are. I'm like, now's a good time to do it. I'm gonna ask another question.
Go for it.
Okay. You need to stop. Come on, there we go. You're super cocked. Alright, it's for you. We're gonna, which one? Okay. For Kyra.
Oh boy.
With Yuri's continued disappearances, are you at all worried she's not telling you everything she's involved with? Any concerns there, Kyra?
Yuri, Kyra has absolute faith in Yuri. There is not a single thing that could break that, honestly. And especially with what happened last session where she tried to contact her and got like some in-between guy saying like, oh, she's in a restricted section. That is honestly just further proof that she is where she said she would be. Which is just more reason to not distrust her. But yeah, no, Kyra, there's no part of Kyra that would ever doubt Yuri unless she like saw it with her own eyes. And even then, she would probably be like, okay, but like what's going on here? Because this isn't Yuri. This is something else. Like, is she charmed? Is she like, is this a doppelganger? Or is like, what's going on? Like, she would never believe that Yuri would willingly do something suspect.
No, that's fair, especially because how long have they been friends?
Like 15 years. Like,
yeah.
Kyra was 9 when she met Yuri.
Wow. Yeah, so they've like grown up together, and like she's seen so many different sides of Yuri, and she's like, I love that.
Yuri has helped her come into herself so much. That like it's just such a foundational part of her life that like it's like, I know this person. I know they would never do anything like they would never be involved with anything like this. And the only reason Kyra would ever suspect that Yuri was not telling her everything is if she was like not wanting Kyra to worry about her. Like, she worries that like it would be something to like not something malicious, but something like stubbornly protective is the only reason she would ever suspect Yuri of like being dishonest.
No, that would make sense, and I'm like, no, I could see that, like, from what little we've interacted with her, like, in-game, I could super see that. I'm like, I don't want to be betrayed by Yuri, because I'm like, no. But I like her so much, and especially from, like, Regan's... There's a part of Regan that, like, distrusts Yuri because of, like, something feels off to her, but Regan's also, it's like, I don't know her. I don't know her that well. And, like, it's mostly that she's just so worried about Kyra. She's like, I just want Kyra to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to have her friend and, you know, whatever comes from that.
It makes sense why someone would be worried. Like, I mean, there was a point where Kyra even brought up to Krusk, it's like, are you sure that your friend, I think his name is Mordai, the tiefling that we met that one time?
Yeah.
Like, that was one of his old teachers. It's like, are you sure he's good? Like, are you sure he's not involved with this shit too? And I think she immediately realized, like, oh, well, if one of y'all asked if Yuri was suspicious, Kyra would fucking deck you in the face. So maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
It's like, oh shit, maybe that's a skosh hypocritical.
Yep.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Oh.
Kyra definitely intends to use Dream to contact Yuri very soon.
Good, yes, good. Give me that juice.
Yup.
Oh. I love watching my friends roleplay. I'm like, I don't know if I've said this on the show before. I think I have, because I'm a gushy baby. But, like, I love just, like, sitting and listening to my friends roleplay. And I'm like, it's such a treat. And I'm gonna be a gushy little bean here. I feel so honored, like, getting to play with all of you guys, because, like, everyone is so gifted at roleplay, and, like, everyone takes their scenes so seriously. Like, if it's, like, it's a moment to, like, be taken seriously, for the most part, we stay in it. And, yeah, we'd have our sidebars, and reality reasserts itself and all that shit. Yeah. But, like...
That has its place, and it's not
place.
During the serious moments, generally.
No, usually it's not. Like, I posted a video in our Nat19 chat where it's like, D&D is a very serious game played by very mature people. I'll show you. It's a picture of the videos. I'll show you after, but it's so funny. It's a Thomas Sanders skit. I'm like, yeah. It's so stupid. But I'm like, no, God, I love D&D. All I have to say, God, I love D&D, and I love Yuri and Kyra, and I can't fucking wait. I want to go to Neverwinter so bad. I want to go so fucking bad. Also, I'm so happy that fucking Brayden got to be Jolene last session. I was so happy.
And classic Jolene fashion, she fucking stumbled the last little bit.
It was so good.
Perfect.
I was so happy because I'd been talking to Brayden. They're like, I hope I get to play Jolene. I'm like, you got to play Jolene. I love it. I want it. And also, God, I love Devin. I love Devin so much.
Devin's so good. I love having her here. I want to kidnap Carrie.
I know. I want to kidnap Carrie
have
forever.
Her be a member of Princes for the rest of time.
I want it. I know we can't, but...
That's quitter talk. We can find a way.
All right, SAO and British.
You're going down.
Fucking no. Like, just because we're talking about it and I just like talking about this, what is like Kyra's opinion on Devin? Because I know what Regan's is, but like since we're talking about Devin, hi Carrie, we're talking about your character. Get dunked on beach. But like, what's Kyra's opinion on Devin?
She seems really cool. Kyra thinks that she relates to her in the way of like, we both have our precious animal babies that we never want to come to any harm. Even though mine can regenerate. I think yours can... She doesn't know that Devin's can regenerate, even though I think she can. But it's like our babies must be protect, and that you're cool with me. She it was kind of blown past last session, but and it also, especially with like the feelings Kyra was feeling last session, it didn't register super hard, but she definitely caught it when Devin was like, yeah, I met Mordenkainen. Like,
Yep.
Kyra was like, fucking excuse me? Like, what did you just say?
I mean, the three of us are gonna be alone on our side. Also, it's the three magic girls, and I love it.
I love that. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, Devin, she hasn't gotten to know a ton about her yet, but she thinks she's cool. Like you have instantly impressed me with just, you know, both not just your ability to fight, but also just you as a person. And it was instantaneous, kind of. Also, you're real fucking hot.
Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's so hot. Like Regan
it's like
would
the
never.
Thing you said about Avi with Omar earlier is basically Kyra with that. Like,
she's like,
but
oh,
the
I
love
am
of my life, though.
window shopping. Yeah. Regan has acknowledged that Devin is very hot, but she's like, no, I have my very, very hot girlfriend. Oh, what do you say? Making me feel some kind of way. But, like, Regan really likes Devin, and she thinks it's kind of nice to have another voice of reason around, because, like...
Yeah, Kyra's also feeling that a little bit.
It's like, our friends are very chaotic, and it's kind of nice to have another, like, woman around who, like, has her feet on the ground and a really good head on her shoulders. And I think Regan's just kind of basking in female friendships right now. She's like, oh,
yeah,
everyone's so good, just living that life. And like, she understands Devin a lot. Like, she's like, yeah, I kind of get your vibe, and I like it, and I like you, and I like your cat. Because much like Kyra, not Regan, because Regan obviously has a gentility to her, but Devin has such a gentility about her. It's got a bit of a tough exterior, and she likes that. She's like, yeah, I like what you're about. And a big reason she asked Devin to, like, come along, it's like, I know you intended to stay with the others, but she felt like she needed a support system that was unbiased about, like, the whole crust situation. And she, like, really likes Devin. She's like, you are so easy to get along with. They have, like, a budding friendship. Like, the whole Casper shit last session was so funny.
Yeah.
Just the two of them just kind of...
moment of levity.
Yep. Oh, God, we needed it. Bless you, Cody, for bringing that in, because fuck, last sesh was... Oh, it was heavy. But, like, just the girls, like, their heads kind of together, just watching, like, what's happening here? Let's just watch this train wreck together. But, like, the amount that, like, Regan's like, no, I know she's probably not gonna stay the whole time, and she has her own mission and her own, like, needs, but if she could stay around, that would be great. I like her a lot. She's cool. Regan
Kyra...
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, Kyra definitely feels the same way, like, pretty much in every regard. I think Regan and Devin have had more of a bonding experience with all the Kilala stuff, but Kyra definitely sees Devin as, like, I am so glad to have another voice of reason. It is not even funny. Like, we have 3 fucking chaos goblins, 1 neutral party that is Maxine, and then Regan and I trying to fucking herd all of the cats.
It is basically herding cats! It's so funny. I'm thrilled. So thrilled. I love it so much. Oh, I could just talk
But yeah,
about it.
Kyra also is like, if there was anyone that I was gonna like open up to about some like because Devin seems real curious about like everyone's like business and stuff, and I watched the session with Carrie and Spencer, the Wits and Crits with that.
Yeah.
And I remember or Devin being like, I'm real curious about what's going on with Kyra and Yuri. Like, what the fuck is going on there? And I was just thinking, like, if there was anyone that she was gonna fucking like talk about that shit to, it might be Devin. Like, because it's just like you are in no way attached to it, so I feel the most comfortable talking to you, probably.
Yeah, it's having sort of like a neutral party in so many different ways, I think is where like the comfortability comes from. It's like, you are less tied to this shit, so you can give me a less biased opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait to be like, hey mom, I have a girlfriend. It's neither of these two ladies. She's dealing with my friend who I couldn't bring along. God, Regan hates that she couldn't bring like Krusk and everybody, because she's like, y'all are like my second family at this point, and I can't bring you home for sake of like their lives.
Yeah.
Ugh. Explaining that to Papa Garrett's gonna be a whole time. I can't wait. It's so good. I'm also so glad I gave him such a fucking normal name. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
No, I wanted him to be just a guy. He's just a dad. Garrett.
That's honestly
Garrett. I love it.
It's Garrett, and I think your mom's name is Lavinia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is, funnily enough, basically the exact same shit that I did with Kyra's parents.
Wait, really?
Because her dad's name is Reese, and her mom's name is Shula.
We are too similar, boy. That's so funny. Like, Reese is at least a little more interesting than Garrett. But I also just really like the name Garrett, and when I was thinking about her dad, I was like, yeah, that feels right. Oh, it's so funny. I love that. I'm gonna ask another question, because we could tangent forever.
Go
but
for
like,
it.
oh, it's excellent. I was like, I just want to talk about Devin for a second, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's for me if that's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Okay,
Get off your show.
I'll re-roll. Here I go.
Ask the question.
Fuck, it's for me again. God damn it.
No, I wasn't being
Okay.
serious. Don't re-roll.
No.
Ask the original question.
Okay, I'll roll it. Yeah.
Okay, which one is this? I already asked that one, so I will roll. Yeah. Okay. For Aviana. Aviana recently told Fenris that she broke up with Tantia by leaving her with nothing but a note and a feather, and that she did so because she was afraid of how she felt. Does this prior experience have anything to do with how she approaches her current relationship? Yes. That's the easy answer, is yes. But, you know, I will elaborate. Especially for your edification, Eric. So, Aviana was in love with Tantia, and she wanted to tell her that she loved her.
Yes.
Until recently, Avi has been terrified of those three words. She's been terrified of just the word love. Like, you know, seeing it written down doesn't make her go,
No, I can't look at it. I'm terrified. I have a phobia of this word.
Yeah.
But the first and only person she had told that she loved was her mom. And that, of course, was not reciprocated. She was never told that she was loved. That was never something that she heard. It would be, hey, I love you, mama, met with just a cold stare. It would be nothing. So, of course, that built in Avi that, here's a little insight on the bird, that really impacted her, as a lot of things that happen to people in childhood will impact them. That left her feeling like she was utterly unlovable, and that if she tells someone, it instilled this belief in her that if she tells someone she loves them, they will leave. And for years, it has really affected her and still affects her. But she is starting to move past it, as probably seen with the highest standard in the most recent episode. But with her current relationship, like with Tantia, she was like, it was so new. It was her first relationship. It was the first time she'd ever, like, acknowledged feelings like that. Like, she, on occasion growing up, like, she said as much to Lexi, like, God, like, 100 sessions ago at this point, because we are in the 60s. It was almost 100 sessions ago that she and Lexi had this talk, because it was right after she and Rory had kissed for the first time. She had felt little stirrings every once in a while about Rory growing up, but she couldn't really put her finger on it because she didn't know what it meant to, like, be in love with someone, you know? Or to even have a crush on someone. She's like, I just like being around him because he's my one friend. And when she kind of noticed that it's like, oh, that's what this is? Cool, I'm going to stuff that down and ignore it, because if I tell him I care about him more than a friend, he's going to leave. I'm a commodity. I am just interesting because I'm a demon and he's a noble boy. I'm probably just a pastime, you know? And so she would never have told him. If he hadn't kissed her that day, she would have gone on as they were, not telling him, not pursuing things. But because he took the first step in that, and then also took the first step in, like, wanting to sleep with her, and was receptive when she's like, hey, what are we though? Like, I need to nail this down, because that's a big thing for her, is that in order for her to sleep with someone, she needs to be in a committed relationship with them, because that is she's not only demisexual, but she needs that safety net of knowing, or like at least believing, that they're not going to leave her. So it's just like a safety thing. It's a personal safety thing. Because he was the one making those big steps and really proving that he wants to be with her. And, like, on their first date, Logan described it as such, like, when they were, like, walking around holding hands, while there are a lot of people, especially in, like, the electory district, that trust her and, like, know who she is and what she's willing to do for them, people in the Common District and the Platinum District are still really scared of her. She is known as the demon of the slums, the Hanyo assassin that stalks the night, and all these things. And anytime people would, like, look at them like it was uncommon or strange, Rory would tighten his hand on hers and move closer to her, and, like, kept doing that as a sign of, yeah, we're together, so what? Like, what of it? And, like, that just made her, like, okay, this guy.
This is the one.
This is the one. I know exactly the moment she fell in love with him, too, or realized that she loved him. And it was long before they were together. Oh, yeah. It was when he offered her a home. When he's like, hey, if things are hard and you need a break from things. They had, like, a conversation, like, I think it was, like, right before the election. He's like, now that you can live in the Platinum District, it's like, I've been trying to think about how to say this, but if you need a break, I have a place, and that means you have a place, and things can be calm if you need them to be. And that's all she's ever wanted, is just a place to go home and actually feel relaxed. So I realize I strayed very far from the question, just to be like, here's my Blorbos and why they're great. But I blame Squeaky for Blorbos, but I'm not going back on it. It's too cute. I love
Blorbos.
It's so cute. I'm like, I don't even know what it means outside of
it doesn't.
ships.
I don't think it means anything.
I love it. I love Squeaky so much. But yeah, like, she is approaching this relationship with more of her heart than her body, if that makes sense, because she and Tantia were a very physical relationship, but Avi caught deep feelings. She's like, I'm down bad for this girl. Like, oh, have you seen her punch? Oh god, yes. But like, she was so scared and so deep in her own self-loathing that she couldn't acknowledge those feelings and wound up hurting Tantia more than she knows. Logan has told me, like, the aftermath. I'm like, oh no, the guilt.
Oh, cool.
But with Rory, she's trying to act more with her heart and just kind of let her heart speak first. And she acknowledged, she's like, I realize it's probably stupid soon to say this, but she told him she loved him, like, right before they went on their mission to the Underdark. And she was like, she acknowledged, she's like, I'm sorry if it was too soon to say it, but, like, he never rejected her for it. He reciprocated it right away, which is what she was terrified of. He reciprocated it, and he has been nothing but, like, loving and warm, and so she's trying to approach it with as much respect for him as she possibly can. Like, she wrote him a letter. The audience doesn't know what was in it, because I just told Logan that she was writing a letter, but I'm like, it's not a secret or anything. In her letter, she's like, hey, I realize that I've been moving things fast, and that's because I'm terrified. And so I've been racing, I'm terrified that something's gonna happen, so I've been racing towards this perceived finish line, but with us, I don't see one. So let's slow down. Let's take it at your pace. You set the pace. Whatever you want to do, however you want to approach this together, I will follow your lead, kind of idea. And the next time, so she stopped saying I love you as much. She stopped, like, she was slowing down and pulling back, not like, oh no, I'm terrified, but like, let my boyfriend set the pace. And the next time they talked on Sending Stones, he's like, also, I love you too. And it's like, okay, he is setting the pace he wants. And she's just like, and that's when she's like, oh no, we're in so deep here, fuck.
We're so in love.
Oh god, I'm so in love. Oh no, do I need to tell him that I worked for the family and what extent that is? So, yeah, there's a lot going on for the girl. But that was a really long answer to that very short question, but I'm long-winded. I will never not be tangenty.
We love to see it.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna ask another question. Ooh, it's for you.
The boy.
The dice is just like, yeah, no. Ask someone else questions. Yeah.
Okay. I've asked that one, so we're gonna roll again. Okay. For Kyra.
Oh.
Ooh, this is one I'm very interested to ask, because I've been stewing on this. So, while Kyra was under the influence of something, like the dark power that was kind of influencing both, like, she and Regan's minds in different ways, she asked Regan about necromancy and how to approach that and about raising the dead. Do you care to share what was the cause of this and how it changed Kyra's line of thinking? How's she feeling in the aftermath of that? What was kind of that process for her? What was going on there? So,
when she looked into the void and Aaron gave me that special little thing on my identity tab, what it said was, I long for the, I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but it's basically, I long for the everlasting state of undeath, is what it was. She basically wanted to become a witch.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that's why she was kind of like, I can't remember, I think she mentioned going to the Lich that we met and, like, asking him questions at one point. She definitely thought about doing that if she didn't say it. And yeah, she was, like, wanting to explore this thing that before she had considered, like, evil and terrifying, like, especially due to her own experience with it. But yeah, she was, like, kind of studying that, and when Regan started raising zombies again, she was, like, scribbling notes and shit like that. And after she got rid of it, um, she felt violated. Like this thing that like it scares me. It terrifies me to my core. This thing, like seeing zombies and skeletons, I'm like, no, get it away. And so whatever the fuck this thing is that did that to her, she wants to murder it. Like she like it is. That is like the most. It felt disgusting.
So violating.
Yeah, like she realized what had happened, and immediately like burned her notes and was just like, ugh. Like.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbearable to think about. But yeah, I think it just has basically increased her resolve to go through with this. Not that she didn't have enough, but that's just like another reason to like, whatever that thing is, like the cults, they're their thing. We're gonna get them. But whatever that thing is gonna pay twice as much.
It's also super connected to Krusk, isn't it? Because
It has to be.
Well, like, wasn't it last session that, like, when you were looking at it, you got the same feeling as when you looked into that void? Bro?
Yes, that is what the reason she canceled the spell is because she was worried about that happening again.
Holy
it's like,
shit.
I don't want to look too deep into this thing because it might change me again, and I don't want that.
It is so taking advantage of Krusk. Oh my god.
Yup.
How's Kyra feeling about that in regards to, like, this thing changed me, potentially changed Regan, and now it's super affecting Krusk and he's letting it in? How's she
she's
doing
terrified.
about that?
Krusk is like one of her best friends, and she's so worried because she also has, I mean, she mentioned it at one point, but she's convinced that this thing is the elemental eye.
I super agree.
It is the god that is at the center of all of this Archamental cult bullshit. And it fucking and when Orsentis talked about like the avatars and that sometimes that they don't know that they're avatars, like she definitely is like, this thing is trying to make you into its fucking apostle. Like, this thing is trying to make you into its like deliverer. Like, it wants you to deliver it unto the world, and I don't want you to become what it wants you to be. Like, and it's just, but she knows that he's not going to stop, and she feels powerless to help her friend. But she's still thinking, she's still scheming ways to try to do something, at least learn more, you know? Like, she feels like the most she can do at this point is just learn what we're dealing with in greater detail. Like, her wizard brain is going off right now.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm like, I had a thought, and then I was like, no, it's just the same fucking thoughts as Kyra on that one. It's like, yeah, I think it's using him to, like, do shit. And I agree that it's the elemental eye. It's just like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah. And Krusk, I think he discussed, I think Spencer talked about it with us briefly. It's like, yeah, he knows this shit's bad, but he thinks he needs it. Like he needs it to protect his friends. And I'm like, but don't die.
It's like, okay, but if you could not, that would be grand, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking worried about that boy. That's why Regan got so fucking mad.
I was debating, because Dream was, like, of the two spells that I took at 9th level, Dream was locked in. That was one I was going to take no matter what. But there were a couple options I had for my second one, and Legend Lore was definitely one of them. and I didn't end up going with it, but I'm like, maybe at some point I will, just because it would be really useful to know about this shit.
Yeah, it might be the wave. That might be a good idea.
Well, I'm sure I'll get there in 2 years when we level again.
Yeah. Listen, if we just keep pushing the cults like we plan to now, who knows? Maybe we'll level a little bit faster. We just gotta fuck up some cultists. Oh man. I'm gonna ask another question. Oh, Krusk, get your shit together. Get your shit together, Krusk.
Okay, it's for me.
Have I asked this number? I don't even have that number. Oh, cool! It's in the same vein. Let's go!
Oh.
For Hayden, when Regan saw that Krusk used the forbidden power, they immediately tried to harm him when he resisted their Gios spell. What was the thought process at that time? With Regan's understanding of, like, charm spells and certain, like, dominate monster, things like that, like, from her understanding of magic, she knows that charm spells and things of that nature can be broken if you harm the creature. And she didn't know exactly what was going on, if Krusk was willingly using it, if it was just possessing him or charming him or something. So her thought process was that if it's a charm, my fucking thorns hurt like hell. And if it's a charm, it is likely to break it. And if I can't get in his head with a Gios spell, then it was a very desperate situation for her. And she regrets it. She regrets trying to hurt her friend in that way. She just she didn't know what else to do, and she was panicking. So she went to a very, like, primal place of just get it out of him. And if it's a charm, this will do it. And if it's not, I can heal him. She had so much magic at her disposal that she could have used, like, a 4th level heal on him.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can heal him. I just need to try something. And then everything just kind of happened. And, like, Spence and I talked about it after game, where it's just like, they love each other so much. Like, she and Krusk really are like siblings. Like, how she feels with Krusk is like how she feels when she's with her little brothers or like with her sister. Mm-hmm. Mostly with her little brothers, because I can't wait to meet them. But anyway, they're great, especially because I know how well Aaron plays kids, especially after Manny.
Oh God, yeah.
They are 2 little 8-year-old twins, so I can't wait. But Krusk is like a brother to her, and she, like, Spence and I have said it to each other. It's like, they love each other so much. Like, Krusk cares so much about Regan, and like fucks with her in a very, like, sibling bestie kind of way.
Yeah.
And I live for it. I fucking love it. But it was, like I said earlier, everything she does comes from a place of care. She was just so desperate, she didn't know what else to do. And the reason she didn't ask Ajisai to push Krusk is like, yeah, my girlfriend's strong as hell, but right now she's gonna tell me no. And I feel like Maxine will say yes.
I need someone who's agreeable.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't fight right now. She had no fight left in her. That she's like, this is the only option I can think of right now without blighting my friend.
Yeah.
And I feel like if she had used any more magic, that was another part. It's like, if it's really the Shadow Krusk, she's seen the ability that, like, the magical ability and the prowess that this thing has. She kind of came to the conclusion that it wouldn't work, that it would turn it on her or something. She didn't know, but she didn't trust to use magic in that moment, and that's why she's like, brute force. That is the only option I can think of right now, because this thing is so much more powerful than me magically.
Yeah. Fuck. It's also just like the one thing that she's never like. It's kind of like, it feels like a last resort kind of thing. It's like, I have exhausted every other possible way to make you stop. This is all that's left. Like, oh.
It hurts.
Yeah.
She just wants her friend to be okay, which is why I'm so glad that it's like Kyra and Regan. I know we keep going back to this because I keep going back to this, but I'm so glad it's Kyra and Regan with Devin on our side. Because it's like, one, emotional support buddies, but also I need people who can like think this through and like talk about this logically, because it's like, what do we do? Regan has nothing left in her. She's running on fumes emotionally.
Yeah, a little bit the same for Kyra, honestly. It's been a day.
It's been so much. Regan is not emotionally ready to go see her mom, but she's like, I gotta. Oh,
the fact that Krusk is not getting to meet your mom as well is also a shame.
I know. Shame. I'm like, I really want him to. I want the whole party to meet her family at some point, especially like with the shit I know. I was gonna say earlier, because I've touched on it briefly. I won't say more than this, because I'm like, I'm not gonna bring up anything that hasn't been really said in game or touched upon. So Regan has an ex-girlfriend, right? She dated a girl previously within her village.
Yeah.
I really want to introduce her to Devin. I know we won't have time, but my little schemy brain is like,
want to play a matchmaker?
Yeah, tee-hee, my ex-girlfriend's really nice. And she's very pretty. Because, like, they ended on good terms, I'll say that much, is they ended on as good a terms as you can. Regan still thinks really highly of her and thought she was an absolute delight. It just didn't work out. They're different people at the end of the day, and, but Regan's like, no. She's very pretty, and she's kind of a girly. Regan, in her mind, is like, okay. Now's not the time, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, tee-hee. But we'll see what fucking happens. Gotta ask another question before I'm like, ooh, matchmaker, yeah. Okay. For you.
Ooh. Real solid back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. I've already asked that question. All right, can you roll a question? I have, please.
As it gets towards the end, that's what happens.
It's always so gregarious. Anyways, to Eric. Kyra used to get a lot of flap for rushing ahead in front of the party to meet the enemy head on, but lately she seems to be staying back a bit more. Has she become less reckless? Why was she such an aggressive fighter to begin with? We've kind of touched on this, but go off.
Yeah, that's also a thing that oh man. So yeah, after her first death, that changed. Very explicitly. She was like, I can't let that happen again. I can't let myself die again, because I don't know if I'm gonna get another shot at life if I do, and I have shit to do. I have Yuri. I have a Yuri to find. Before that, though, I think a lot of the recklessness and like the bravado and the overconfidence, it came from a place of like insecurity. Like she, when Yuri left the island 5 years ago, she told Kyra like to stay back. Like, I need to go do this, and Kyra was like, take me with you, I can help. And Yuri was like, I want you to stay here and continue learning and growing and like all that kind of stuff. And Kyra agreed to that, which is something she very much regrets. But she felt like she was inadequate for a long time.
Aw.
Just because, like, if I was better, I'd be able to help her. I would have been able to go. You know, I should have gone. Like, there's just stuff like that. Which is the reason why she worked her ass off to try to learn as much as she could, magically speaking. And eventually she left, but she still kind of felt like, am I good enough for this? Am I ready?
Am I strong enough?
Am I strong enough? And it kind of came from a place of like, no, I have to be. I have to be strong enough. I have to be smart enough. I have to be talented enough. So it was kind of just her hyping herself up in her own mind and trying to, like, convince herself that she was ready for this. Which is why when she died, that all kind of came crashing down.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, if I really want to do this, I need to be smart about it. What would Yuri do? Like, she would be smart about it. I need to be smart about it too. And so that's why she stopped being so reckless and rushing into everything and all that stuff. But yeah, I think she's learned a lot since she left home. So those feelings of, like, inadequacy and insecurity aren't quite, they're not really that much there anymore. I'd say they're pretty much a thing of the past at this point, but there's still some, like, but, like, I'm not as good as Yuri, but that's, like, more just, like, it's less her putting herself down as opposed to trying to, like, raise Yuri up because she just thinks so highly of her.
Like, nah, she's amazing. Have you seen her?
Have you seen her? Look at her do anything. She's amazing.
Oh, she's so in love.
Oh my god, she's so in love.
Teehee.
But yeah, that's basically where all that came from.
Makes sense. Like, that honestly is such an understandable, like, thought process, and, like, how she got to that point, like, makes so much sense. It's been interesting seeing Kyra's growth over the campaign so far. I've really enjoyed watching it, and just, I enjoy Kyra so much. I've made no fucking secret of that. Like, I really enjoy Kyra. Like, I love her, and I love she and Regan's friendship, and I love just, like, watching Kyra navigate and grow. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing her with us.
I'm so glad that I get to play her. She's so much fun, and I love their relationship as well. I love Regan. I love heckin' their dynamic, and I would love for them to just fucking chill the fuck out someday and just discuss.
They're a couple of fucking nerds.
Like,
they're such
they're
nerds.
I want them to just have nerd out sessions where, like, they talk about the differences of their magic and, like, I do this stuff with alchemy. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Like,
it's so good. I'm like, that's what I want for them, is just to just hang out, be a couple of fucking dorks. Like, I love reading. You like reading too? Yes, let's go. Let's sit in silence together and read books and go, oh, dude, look at this. What do you think about this equation?
Kyra is very much, like, not a recreational reader, but she definitely will, like, if someone sat there and read to her, she'd be down for that. Like, I ain't here about to fucking try to read a whole ass book on my lonesome. That just sounds boring. But, like, if I'm doing it with somebody, that might be fun, you know?
Oh, just the two of them, like, poring over, like, magic books and just, like, reading together. It's like, oh shit, okay, but what about this thing? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can see it. I can see them. Oh, now I want art of it. Just them, like, kind of huddled together, just reading a book with, like, a bunch of, like, magic stuff. Oh, I need it. I love them so much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have time for a couple more before we wrap up.
Yeah.
It's for you again. Let's go.
Bah.
The dice are like, no, we haven't had Eric yet. Go. Yeah. Okay. For Gino, the big old metal mans. With the addition of Pito being in your consciousness all the time, or most of it at least, do you ever feel the strong urge of yeeting Arden out a window due to the nature of him being a Mundus spawn? Or do you feel that Pito has tried to, now that he's someone inside your body, head/consciousness, tried to take over in any way? How you feeling about Pito? Do you feel any influence from the Robo AI boy in your brain?
Gino, anytime he tries to do that Mundus, like, you should step out this window. Go on, it's completely safe. Like, Gino is just like, fucking knock it off. Like, he's just kind of annoyed by it. The vibe between Gino and Pito has been this kind of off and on, like, he's really fucking annoying. Like, but he's also really helpful, and he's not annoying all the time. But I don't think there's ever a point where Gino has felt like Pito was trying to, like, take over or anything. I feel like if that had happened, Logan would have probably been like, roll a save. Like, but I don't think he's ever felt any, like, influence from Pito at all. Like, he's never felt inclined to do the ridiculous things Pito suggests.
Hell yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You know how it reads to me when he tells me to knock it off? It feels like very annoyed employer sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, it's like, could you please, like, do your job? Like,
can you just not?
Like, I don't want you to not talk. I don't want you, like, you know, you're a person. You do your own thing. I don't care if you're a computer. Just, you know, stop trying to kill my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, man.
it's largely just like, shut the fuck up about the Arden Mundus shit. Like,
enough, bro.
I as a player think it's hilarious, and I don't want it to stop. But Gino is very much just like, stop, please.
Can you not? Can you just?
Just like banging on his head every time.
Stop it.
Nope. Bad Pito.
Pito down. Oh, yeah. All right, I think we got time for one or two more.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It was cocked.
Okay, it's for me.
Oh.
Go roll the dice.
Have I answered this question? No, I haven't.
Okie doke.
It is... There we go. To lore nerd Hayden. Hi, that's me. I'm a giant dweeb. Aviana and Quintus's mothers are probably two of the most mysterious figures in Vestige when it comes to their goals and origins. Outside of, you know, Velis, but, you know, that the question doesn't touch on that. But, anyway, with the campaign history of seemingly random events being connected, and the fact that they both have ties to the deeper world of Somnus Domina and the Primal Gemstones, do you think that the two might have a history with each other? Do you think their relationship would be more amiable or antagonistic? Do you think that Moira Valorbilt is truly the heroic figure that Quintus thinks she is? So I'm going to take this question by question, because there are 3 in here. So, first off, I don't think the two are connected at all. So if they did have a relationship of some kind, I think it would be all business. Especially with how Hathoyura is. It, at least from my perception, very much using Moira for her own means to get what she wants, because that has been the pattern we've witnessed. So I don't think it would be antagonistic, but it would be just business. and I don't think she would hesitate to dispose of her, or at least try if need be. But that's also my perception from, like, my character brain. As for the last question, both in and out of character, I don't think Moira is the heroic figure that Quintus thinks that she is, and that Valder thinks that she is. I think there is, especially because, not even Haros knows where she is. So, if not even a fucking god knows where this bitch is, there's something so much deeper going on, and especially because Diane told Quintus, like, she was saying these things to get under his skin, but because Diane told us that Moira Vanderbilt they were following her, and they were, like, watching her, and she had a kid, but it wasn't Quintus. And they weren't human. So, Avi is really worried about Quintus right now. There's another question that kind of asks about this, so I'm just kind of smooshing them together. But, she is really worried about Quintus right now. She is, she's seeing how, Diane's questions were affecting him. And at the time, she was playing her game with Diane of being kind of a neutral antagonist, not quite antagonistic party, but, like, trying to seem like she was more on Diane's side, just to see what she could get out of her by doing that. So she didn't go to Quintus, even though there's a huge part of her that, like, wanted to go and, like, talk to him and be like, hey, dude, you good? And she still wants to. It was a big reason she apologized to him last session, because she's so aware of her behavior, and especially after seeing him so rattled after Diane telling him all that information about his family and the blood threshers and everything that's going on in his country. She is deeply worried about him finding out that his mom's maybe not a good person, because she's been through that, and she would not wish that on anyone else. Like, a big reason she's so protective of Miriam is because her belief, and she said as much to him, it's like, nobody else should have been hurt by her. It should have just been me. Let me take that pain. No one else should have to go through what I went through. And seeing Quintus find this stuff out, it's breaking her heart for her friend. And especially because, like, Miriam's so special to her. By extension, that's why she pushes Quinn so much. Because she can see that he can be a better person. And she can see, she's seen his growth. She sees that he can grow, and he's, like, on the cusp of it. And he's learning. And she said as much to Diane, it's like, I'm trying to impart, like, what I can on him in my own way, because he is a good person, and she sees that. And if Moira's turns out to be a shitty parent or a shitty person, Aviana intends to be there for him and to help him through that, because she knows how it feels.
Yeah, that'd be a huge huge moment of relatability between the two.
After that, she's like, she kind of had a new outlook for Quintus, and it's like, fuck, I need people when it comes to my mom, because that shit's really hard for me to talk about. I don't want to see my friend go through it. And she's seeing him go through it, and it's like, fuck. God, dude, I know how much this sucks. You want to drink and just cry about how much our moms might suck? But yeah, that's pretty much, that's that. So we are pretty much at time, but you have one more question that is kind of for both of us that I want to touch on if you have time. If not, we can wrap.
Go for it.
Okay, because you have one more question. I saw this as like, okay, but I do want to touch on this because this is a big moment for Kyra and Regan.
Okay.
So for Kyra, when you had your little friends quarrel with Regan in the park, how far would you have gone in order to cure her madness if she kept resisting? Was there always going to be a soft cutoff point, or would you have gone to more desperate measures to help her?
If she had access to more spells that could, like, restrain you, then she definitely would have used them. But there was no part of her that was ever intending to harm Regan. Like, she was never gonna try to, like, throw a firebolt at her or anything like that. Like, it was never gonna be, like, knock her out. It was just gonna be, like, restrain her long enough to take her stuff and have this dude cast the spell. Like, that was her whole plan. And when that shit didn't work out, it wasn't like, well, time to kill a bird. Like, it was just like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna do that, so I guess I'll just fucking spend my exorbitant fucking useless money and fucking get diamonds.
Here I go, spending all my cash.
There's so much. We got so much in the vault. It's not even funny. Like, it's more than she'd ever know what the fuck to do with. Which is why any time that anyone needs it, she's like, here, have 1,000 gold.
Like, I'm good.
Like, I could buy spells with this if we ever went to a town long enough for me to do that. Like, which is definitely not happening now. So it's like, if anyone needs money, it's like, here, take it. Like,
you need money? Money, anyone? Money?
Money!
Money! Fucking. Yeah, I think that episode, until, like, our last episode, I think that was, like, one of my favorite sessions of Prince's.
Oh, yeah.
Shocking.
So
I love
juicy.
the emotional ones.
Yeah, like.
Shocking.
I live for those ones.
Same. Like, I'm impressed by Kyra, especially because Regan was throwing tidal waves and hitting her with spores, like, to, like, stop her and get away. The fact that I think it really speaks to Kyra's character that she didn't retaliate and didn't, like, punch back, essentially, and that she just kind of found another way to do it, found the more like moral way to do it. I think it really speaks to who Kyra is as a person.
Yeah, I mean, first she knew that, like, all the shit that Regan was doing and saying was not really Regan, so it's like, I don't want her to wake up with 3rd-degree burns because of something she didn't do. Like,
yeah. Regan would have understood. She'd be like, nah, that thing in my head was making me a real bitch.
It's just fucking, yeah. She just wants her friends to be okay. She doesn't want to hurt them.
Oh, so good.
That shit really threw a wrench in all of my plans, though, when you fucking wild shaped. I was like,
Tee.
fuck.
I was looking, I was like double checking wild shape. I'm like, my stuff does meld into me. I was so happy that it threw you.
I was just like, fuck. There's nothing I can do about that.
like without just taking her out.
Yeah.
Because you can't counterspell that shit, so.
Nope. Not at all. She would have kept counterspelling you until the fucking cows came home.
Like if it was Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had access to polymorph, which I do now, but if I'd had access to polymorph, I super would have polymorphed you. I would have turned you into a turtle again and like nope.
Fuck.
I would have fucking done it.
I have spent an abnormally long time as a turtle.
Yeah, I super would have turned you into a turtle.
It's just fucking Gamora. He just like walks through Obsidian Hall with a fucking turtle in his hand.
It's like I don't
think this is your turtle.
This is your friend. Why is she a turtle? Don't. Your other friend turned her into a turtle and became a bird and flew away, and you know we can't really break concentration at that point. Oh, so good.
But yeah,
I love that.
Kyra cares way too much about Regan and all of her friends in general. But Regan, she has a special, like, friendship with that she doesn't quite with the others. And it's like, no, you of all of them. Like, if this was Maxine, then maybe. Like, I trust Maxine to fucking, like... Not that I don't trust Regan to, like, take a hit, but I know Maxine would probably be happier for it than not, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she'd probably be, like, happy that we had a fight in the end, so it's like, I might do that. Probably not, though. Like, if it came down to it, though, I would.
It's like, if I have to, I will.
Yeah, but with Regan, it's like, I don't want to do that to Regan.
I don't want to break your hollow druid bones.
Especially right now.
Yeah. It's like, she's made of paper.
Also, I know Ajisai would kill me.
Yeah, that's another point where you're like, you'd have to contend with angry girlfriend who was already going through it.
She was already, when she went up to Ajisai after that happened, she made very sure to, like, clarify what happened and what was going on, because even the fact that she counterspelled Regan and tried to Tasha's hideous laughter her, she saw as, like, Kyra or Ajisai might fucking deck me for that.
It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be okay physically after this. Yeah. Oh, so good. I love our girls so much.
Yeah.
And I love you so much, and thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much again for having me. I'm real happy to be a part of it.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad, and I love your sprite, and I love it. Heckin'. But that is all the time we have for today. Heckin', thanks y'all for tuning in. Before we wrap up here, why don't you promote yourself, tell the people where they can find you, a little about what you do, and
y'all can
shamelessly plug yourself.
Not much to plug. I got heckin' a Twitter. It's Eric VAEREHCVA. I retweet a lot of shit, and not a lot else goes on there. But I do RPs with Summoners Network as well. Those are really cool. You can go check those out. Playing a Zelda one. Yeah. Heckin', I do Cool Kids on Tuesdays. You go check that out. I do it with Cody and Izzy. It's a good time. We're about to start up some new games soon because we just finished Persona 4. So yeah, that's about it, I think.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I was reaching for my mute button. I kept missing it with my foot. Heck yeah. Well, I love that. Y'all should go check it out. Go follow Eric everywhere. He also edits all of my Scylla TikToks. So anything that you guys think is funny on the Scylla channel, it's all Eric. Eric is the source of comedy. It's great.
How dare you? You also are. You're the comedy.
What, with me going tink, 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 tink with a chair for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's just funny.
Oh, it's so good. But heckin', if you guys want more of me, I guess, you can find me on Twitter at HeyBaleVoice. You can find me on Blue Sky at HeyBaleVoice. You can find me Instagram, HeyBaleVoice. I don't really use my Instagram. I will like stuff, though, on Insta. I don't post much. But you can also find me over on YouTube at Scylla Aria, twitch.tv at Scylla Aria, TikTok, Scylla Aria VTuber, same with Instagram. That's where you'll get a lot more of, like, stuff, and it's not even me posting there. That's all Eric, because he's really great. But if you want more Nat19, remember that you can tune in Monday through Wednesday for gaming streams with the cast, Thursdays for alternating D&D games of Princes of the Apocalypse and Devils Might Surrender, and of course Saturdays, Vestige of a Fucus airs, usually save for the first weekend of the month, but, you know, it's the end of the year, we ran last week. Anyways, if you're interested in merchandise or want to know more about our team or our show, you can visit nat19show.com. Also, we are running a Kickstarter right now, and it will still be running when this episode airs. So go to kickstarter.com. You can look up Nat19 or Somnus Domina or anything of that sort. It will bring you to the Kickstarter. I will make sure to post it in the description of this video, as well as Twitch. If you are watching live on Twitch, you can, it'll be in the chat, like right about now. Probably right about now, unless I walked away, which is likely. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next time. I don't know who it's going to be for the next rotation. I'll announce that soon, I guess. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Yeah, bye-bye.